So in the first video, we looked at how you can go about creating a model of the chain splitter. And we've looked more closely at how you can draw the body of the chain splitter, but we're working towards creating a set of orthographic drawings of a chain splitter. So if I zoom in here now, you can see that I've got a sectional front elevation. I've got a plan view, which is dimensioned up with some datums on there, some datum measures, and a lot of other dimensions, constraints like hole sizes, so we get some really important information across in a technical document. And then the title block here, okay, I've got a lot more technical information going on. Probably not quite finished yet, that bit, but I'll show you now how we go about moving from the 3D model into a 2D orthographic drawing. So if it's not the first time you've done this, I'm apologizing, but if it is the first time you've done this, then you need to know how to do it. So we click on the plus bottom at the bottom of the page, and we go to create drawing. And in this area here, you've got a one-time only really chance to do a few things. Click on custom template, click on ISO, International Standards Organization. You've got a chance to set the page up to A3 size and also to select third angle. You've got no views. And on border, what I would say is I don't include the border. It's going to create a border and title block, but the border is not going to be subdivided. So click OK, and this is going to generate for you a blank A3 piece of paper. I say blank, it's going to have a border on it and title block there, but we haven't got any views of our object on here at all. So it comes up with a menu here and asks you what you want to put into your drawing. I'll close that off for a second and just show you how you go about doing it from scratch. So with nothing on the page, you click on the insert view. And what we're doing now, we're inserting what's called a parent view. So the view that the others are going to be based from. Now you might well only have one or two pieces here. In fact, you'll have three, won't you? You'll have Part Studio 1, which is the body of the chain splitter. Part Studio 2, which is the threaded bar with the hardened steel pin and the hole for the Tommy bar. And you'll have Part Studio 3, which will be the Tommy bar. So you have 1, 2, 3. You may well have an assembly if you've already combined those three pieces together. So identify the parts in here. So mine is Part Studio 4. There it is. And I'm going to bring that piece in as my base view. Okay, so that's my start off view. Let's have a look now which one I'm going to go for. So if I go top view by here now, right now, that's not so good for me. If I go for left view, or if I go for front view. Okay, so I'll use front view as my base view for this piece. I'm going to drop that on the page, right? So that is my first view. Look, it's still on add projected view. So if I hover over here, like, I'm going to get another view. If I hover above, no, it's not going to happen. If I click on that view and then go add projected view and go above it, it's going to create me a plan view. Okay, so this is third angle projection, remember? So, I mean, you can see the view projection symbol down here, third angle projection. So if I'm looking at my object from on top, from above in a plan view, I draw what I see where I'm looking from. So my view is drawn above, and that's the key giveaway, really. If you're looking at a drawing and thinking, is it a third angle or a first angle view? If the plan view is above, then it's most likely going to be a third angle view. Right, so next job. You may notice, right, all these views are interlinked. So if I move my front elevation, the other two views move as well. And this is going to change in a sec, right? So what's going to happen here, I'm going to delete my front elevation. And I'm going to go up to the top toolbar and I'm going to pick up sectional view. Now in sectional view, I can click to make a horizontal sectional view. And I'm going to click in the middle of my plan. And I'm going to drag down and it's going to create for me a sectional front elevation. There it is, right? Sectional view. It's just sliced through the middle and it's revealed some important information that I'm going to be able to show more clearly. Right, in that view, okay, I'm not going to edit it just yet, but you will notice if I move that view now, okay, the plan and the front elevation are related, but this end elevation's not. So I'm going to delete the end elevation. Oops, daisy, Control Z, I have two selected then. Click on that one and press delete there for this view. Nope. On that, and I'm going to create a new projected end elevation. So click on that one, pull away, and I've now got a related end elevation. So I've got three views of my object. Good starting point. Right, now I'm going to select this view. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to go to Edit Hatch Section. And I click on this cutaway bit here. Now I don't like this broken hatching line. So I'm going to click on ANSI, give me a solid hatching line. I'm going to move that a minute, because I want the same on the top bit there as well. And then I'm going to click OK. So that gives me a solid hatching line, and wherever that hatching line goes, I've basically cut through solid material. So next job, let's have a look. Right, let's kind of augment or improve some of these views. If you go show hide, you can view hidden lines. What that's going to do is it's going to drop us some extra lines that show what's going on below the surface of the material. I guess I could augment or improve this view here by going show hide and showing a shaded view. Not generally tended to be done in a CAD drawing, but totally acceptable. Okay, so let's add some view labels. Click on the new and note, and on here we're going to view label here. This is going to be my sectional front elevation, and the sectional front elevation is cut through on line AA. So you've got to add that in as well, and that's a cutaway line that you would see if you looked through line AA. This one here is a plan view, just call it plan, and this one here is an end elevation. So it's writing end elevation, and you will have 3 view labels. Okay, you might need to move these pieces around afterwards and try and line bits of text up and things like that. We can do that after. We've got a view label on that one already, so we'll delete that bit of writing. Okay, so let's start dimensioning, right? Now, we're dimensioning, and we're going to pick an important part of our design to dimension from, which we're going to identify as a datum, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a little line that comes up from this bit here, like that, vertically, and I'm going to identify that bit of line as a datum, right? So I'm going to pull away, and that now is my datum, right? Where it says datum A, I'm not going to use letter A because that's already being used. I'm going to change that to letter B. So that little feature there, that edge is reference B. Okay, here's the important thing, right? We're going to start adding dimensions. Every time I add a dimension to this piece, I'm going to, picking up the wrong object, and every time I add a dimension, I'm going to dimension from A to the point that I'm referencing. Oops, pick up the dimension line. 1, 2, escape. I'm going to click on the dimension button. I'm going to click from the line. Sorry, press the escape button a second. I'm going to click from the reference here to the line, and that's a 5, so I'll put that on outside. Click from the reference to this point, pull out, that's an 8. Click from the reference to this point, pull out, that's a 10. Click from the reference to this one, and that's a 13. And click on the reference from this point to here, and that's a 16. And click the reference from this point to here. Okay, I'm going to run out of room at the top there, so what I'm going to do with that one is I'm going to dimension it from the bottom, and that's perfectly acceptable. You can also do the overall length on there as well. So it's 38 mil from the reference point B over to this point. So that's all good, right, so far. Now you might want to put in some other reference relationships with point B. So what you can do is you can say, for example, that you would like parallel relationship of 0.1 degrees to datum B, and that would be a dimension that you could put onto this line by here. So I'll drop a line in, and from that, this is going to be referencing this surface. That surface there is going to have a parallel relationship between 1 degree, 0.1 of a degree to side B, to reference B. So that's some pretty good dimensioning going on that piece. What else should we put on? Okay, let's put on a hole call out. So a hole call out is this one by here. If you've got a threaded hole like the M8 thread that we put on here, you can reference the thread. So just click on the thread and pull away. Have we got room to put it there? Yes, we have. So try and avoid your dimension lines cutting through the object. Sometimes it's unavoidable like this one. Try and avoid it if you can. So it's M8, so the tapping diameter for M8 is 7.2. This symbol here, the horizontal line with the arrow, means it goes in 20 millimeters from this edge here. It's an M8 with a 0.75 pitch, and the thread goes in 16 millimeters into the material. Okay, so that's pretty good. Let's add some other dimension, or let's put some center lines in. That's often a good thing to do. So center lines can be put in a number of ways. Quite like this edge to edge center line that you can use. We click on two edges and it'll drop a center line into something. Putting center lines over hatching lines, that's not something we tend to do, but you can if you want to. 1, 2, same on that one. So we've got some center lines and we can start dimensioning bits. So click on your dimension. You can dimension circles with diameters and radiuses if you want to. You can dimension lengths, you can dimension angles, and those are key features that you can have as part of your design. Okay, right. If you want to put tolerances onto your design, you can go in here and you can go to deviation tolerance, which will allow you to put an extra thing like, okay, that's 18. It can be 1/4 of a millimeter above, and it could be 1/4 of a millimeter below. You can put some deviation tolerance on it, so it's 18 plus or minus 0.25. Okay, that's all good. So we can finish off dimensioning that. That's quite handy. Let's go to insert another view, and let's try and pick up something like an isometric view. So this isn't going to be part of your orthographic, but it's sometimes useful to put in for reference so people can see in 3D what the object looks like. So that's useful. So this will be our parts drawing. Perhaps an A3 page with all 3 parts drawn out separately, fully dimensioned, would be useful. And then you can create another drawing, which we would call our general arrangement drawing, which would have all the component parts in an assembly. So there you are. That's a bit of work for you to do. I'm going to put my name by here now, okay? Mr. Owen. And obviously, because I'm so proud of this drawing, I want to be able to make it so my name's nice and big. So change the size of the text. Let's put it up to 8 and make sure it's bold, and click OK. And now if I escape that a second, I can put that in the middle here. Title for my drawing, which should all be good. There you are. I'm going to finish up there.